Hi, I'm Dr. Chip Bennett. This is Dr. Warren Gage, and we are discussing comedy and the Christian life. Warren, one of the things that Jesus tells us in Scripture, and it's sort of difficult, to be honest with you, and when you read it at first, is he tells us that we should love our enemies, and I've often said, I've heard you say as well, that, one of the ways we can understand loving our enemies is through the lens of comedy, because comedy allows us to understand that that enemy can at some point, by God's grace, not only become our friend, but could become a brother or sister in the Lord. So this idea of understanding that God can take something low and move it high, which is comedy, really helps you understand the enemy-loving nature of Jesus and what he asks us to do. You have any thoughts that you'd like to add to that idea of loving your enemies?
I think a comedic imagination allows you to look at someone and see what they might become. God looks at us, and we are what? We were the ungodly.
That's right.
And
we were
Christ
his enemies.
Died.
We were his enemies.
We were his enemies. We were the ungodly. Christ died for us.
That's right.
And has made us his friends and brothers.
That's right.
And sons of God in the kingdom. It's the comedic imagination begins with the love of the Father and the love of the Son for us. And so he challenges us to, he says things that had never been said before. Love your enemies. That's inviting you to imagine someone as your Christian brother or sister, but also what it does, it invites you to treat them like you want them to be.
To love your neighbor as yourself.
To love your neighbor as yourself. It liberates you to treat someone who might continue being your enemy.
Can you even have that concept of love without comedy?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can. If God had not brought that concept into the world, we would have been shut up in our darkness and in our death.
That's right.
But comedy gives us life and light and hope. We talk all the time about faith and love, and they're absolutely wonderful. But comedy gives you the gift of hope.
That's right.
It allows you to reimagine the possibilities, to dream. It teaches you new ways to dream.
Yeah, only Jesus could come on the scene and tell somebody to love their enemies. And I love the way he says it. He says it's so natural for you to love your neighbor or someone like yourself, but to be able to love your enemy, you have to have a comedic imagination. And I think as we're trying to discuss this idea of comedy in the Christian life, I think what we're really trying to do is give people categories of thought that they might not have had before listening to some of these videos. So anyway, we really appreciate you watching another session here of comedy in the Christian life, and we really hope that these are enriching to your life as well.